In this video, we will show you how to use pre-trained weights to create up to 10 times speed-up in your CopyCat training. By default, CopyCat starts training from scratch, from a random set of weights. But there is another option, and that is to start from already pre-trained weights. These weights will give you a head start during training, as they already represent a good first approximation of the model. There are currently 3 different pre-trained models available in Nuke: a deep-blur model, an upscale model, and a human matting model. All of these weights have been trained on commercially usable datasets. Let's take the human matting one as an example. As you can see, it's not perfect, but that pre-trained model already knows how to detect humans roughly. So we can train on top of that checkpoint to learn to detect shot-specific humans perfectly. We strongly recommend using pre-trained weights whenever possible. Every human matting task would gain greatly from being initialized with the human matting pre-trained model. And same story for upscale and deep-blur tasks. It's also interesting to note that the deep-blur model is not only good for deep-blur, but could also be a nice starting point for instance, an in-painting task. The reason being that the deep-blur model has learned to reproduce an image pixel by pixel, so the only thing left to learn will be the in-painted area. Here is an example video showing the kind of speedups you can get when you use pre-trained weights. There is a person walking with a backpack that we want to segment out. On the left is the training from scratch, and on the right is the training initialized from the human matting pre-trained weights. As you can see, the right-hand side training is significantly faster. To highlight this point even more, here is an overview with the CopyCat graph tab showing how the training with initial weights converged much faster than the training from scratch. But why limit ourselves to these initial weights? You can also create your own custom checkpoints or your own custom pre-trained models. For instance, you could train a model on one shot and use it as a starting point for a similar second shot in a multi-shot workflow. This approach can be incredibly efficient, especially when working on sequences or entire scenes. And this technique isn't limited to multi-shot training. It can also be applied at a larger scale. For instance, you could create actor or movie-specific pre-trained models. Imagine having an actor with a specific facial feature you wish to modify across multiple shots or across an entire movie. You could create a dataset with diverse frames featuring the actor, train on this larger dataset, and then apply the pre-trained model to all relevant shots. This method can work right off the bat for a significant percentage of the shots, and for the rest, you can always fine-tune that model per shot as needed. In summary, we strongly recommend using pre-trained weights for speeding up your machine learning workflows. Using both Nuke pre-trained weights and in-house pre-trained weights, CopyCat training can run significantly faster for single-shot, multi-shot, and generalized cases.